Hello and welcome to Invictus Motors. We've got a Porsche 911 997.2 C4S, and today in this video I'll be covering should you perhaps buy a high mileage 997.2 and why. To really get to know what one of these are like, let's get behind the wheel. Well, here we are. With every Porsche, you have this phenomenal feeling that you're sitting in a car that is unusually low to the ground, very low center of gravity, and that is a characteristic that you feel in one of these immediately from the get-go. And it's a special feeling to just sit behind the steering wheel of a Porsche 911, because so many of us grow up with the idea of seeing these in films, having this perhaps as a poster on our bedroom wall, but to be at a point of either potentially buying one of this or to own one of these or to daily drive one of this is truly an honor. And then daily drive 1.98,000 miles, keep it for 10 years, which is what this second owner for this 911 has done. It's truly been a car that's been cherished, loved and looked after in that sense. So goes back to the first question is, should you buy it? And the immediate answer is absolutely yes, because just from this short test drive that I've been on so far, everything is exactly as it should be. The car drives straight, it handles extremely well, and the PDK dual clutch gearbox works phenomenally well. I mean, one moment we're in fifth gear, and as soon as I put the foot down, we dropped all the way down to the second gear. And that is credit to Porsche's engineering. Now, this has the Sports Chrono Plus package, and to really get into this in a moment, I just would like to cover the brief performance figures on this, because this has the 3.8 litre naturally aspirated 6-cylinder flat 6 boxer engine. It produces 385 bhp, 420 newton meters of torque, and the 0 to 60 miles per hour is possible in 4.9 seconds. Porsches have never truly been about the top end speed unless you're going to get the supercar GT3, the GT3 RS, or the turbo variants. So when you are looking at either the 4S or the Carrera S or the 997 just .2 base 911, what you get in these cars is how well they handle and how well they corner. And just to illustrate, doing these junctions, look over, it hugs to that line so well. We're in second gear, it held the revs all the way up to 7,000 RPM, and then it sort of went up into the third gear. Well, you know what, why don't we go straight ahead, enjoy a more extensive test drive. There's a cricket match happening right now. And this is part of the allure of actually owning a Porsche 911, is you're able to get out and experience and see things, and not just necessarily be in the comfort of your home or in the comfort of a car or a saloon car that you daily about in every day. A Porsche is something special. And again, on the topic of a high mileage 911, somebody's clearly done the miles, has looked after it, has maintained it, has run it, and has done every possible service or maintenance items that's ever been required. This has had, in the last service in 2020, had the spark plugs done, the drive belt done, and a major service. All of the servicing schedule were directly with Porsche, so it's clearly been looked after. And you can see from the condition of it, just the way it looks on the inside, and there aren't any rattles or any undesirable noises that you get anywhere out of your car, because at the end of the day, the residual values on the Porsche 911s are so good that you do have this incentive to actually look after it, because you will get that at the end of your ownership of one of these beautiful things. So this is from me on the test drive side of it, in what it's like to feel the 385 bhp, the 420 newton meters of torque. But this, having the Chrono Sport Plus package, is a very desirable item to have, because by pressing the sports button, as an example, it automatically stiffens your dampers via the Porsche active suspension management system, and immediately you feel this temporary boost of approximately 30 newton meters of torque, and that is credit to Porsche for, you know, perhaps you want to call it a gimmick, or perhaps you want to call it, you know, something that is absolutely key or essential, but what a job it does. Absolutely phenomenal, and truly a joy to experience this. Well, we're back from our test drive. Just because it's had high mileage doesn't mean that it hasn't been looked after. As a matter of fact, it would have had more services than a lower mileage. I mean, in that case, these are cars. You do need to service them every 2 years or 20,000 miles, which is what Porsche recommends. But the overall condition is absolutely immaculate, other than a couple of battle scars. It's finished in the very desirable rare Meteor Grey Metallic with the 19-inch Carrera S Edition 2 alloys. And at the front, you find the optional xenon headlights. And let's just get into the interior and tell you a little bit about what the interior condition is like, and perhaps why, again, Porsches are a real credit to their owners for maintaining them and sustaining them the way they do, because I've seen so many examples of absolutely immaculate Porsches. And of course, you do see some bad ones, but that just doesn't mean it's a reflection on all the bad Porsches out there. There's more good than not. Owners history-wise, this is a two-owner from new. The current owner has had it for about 10 years. And what I love about Porsches is how well they're constructed. If you just slightly come onto the inside, you'll find this umbrella that neatly tucks in here. You know, usually if you don't have an umbrella, you could put your phone in there. You find the Carrera 4S badging, cup holders right there as well. So very neat, very tidy, very well done. And by the seats at the bottom, what you will find is the 16, or I believe perhaps 18-way adjustability for your seats. And of course, this is the comfort seats, but you also get the lumbar support where you can actually push this out, and a couple of other things just to give you sort of a firmer and a more driver-focused ride. On the inside, Porsches are incredibly comfortable in the sense that this has a 2+2 layout. So if you like to have a style of driving where your seat is all the way back on a motorway cruising, because you're going to put another 20, 30, perhaps 50,000 miles, go ahead and you do that, because Porsche allows you to do that. In terms of the steering wheel, this is the smooth leather, almost from a technical terminology considered as the sports multifunctional steering wheel, but obviously you've got the gear changes button right here, the volume button, the menu, and obviously to pick up and drop telephone calls here as well. You've got cruise control, you've got the dual clutch, PDK gearbox, highly rated, highly desirable, and of course you've got the Sport Plus and the PASM button alongside the Sports Chrono watch at the top. In terms of the 2+2 layout, again, real credit to Porsche for keeping the heritage of the 911s the way they have, to continue putting the engine behind the rear axle wheel, which is unusual, but it works so well, as illustrated by how it's handled. And if you're looking to buy this is had all of its servicing at a Porsche main dealer, and the next service is due in October 2022. So come and grab yourself a 911, which is low owners, full main dealer service history. We have one here at the dealership. It's not sure for how long more. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs button, and if you'd like to donate to the same charity that we donate our earnings to, the link is below.